Yo, yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Rule of Two. We're here with Marc Fernandez, of course, as usual, and we're going to talk about some pretty fun stuff today. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a fun day so far. So, Marc, what's going on, man?
What's up, buddy?
I'm doing
How are
pretty good.
you? How's everybody out there in what does F stand for, dude?
Okay,
School
so
me.
F is like a. Basically, this dude died in Call of Duty in the campaign, and his funeral was taking place, and then you go walk up to the casket, and the screen says, "Press F to pay respects." Yeah,
Oh,
but it can
dope.
also
Dope. What
it can
up?
also mean fail. So, yeah, you
Could
never
also
know
mean
with these
fail.
things.
All right, cool. Am I good on the
Yeah, you're good.
screen
You're kind of dark.
there? I'm kind of dark. All right, hold on.
The
I can fix that.
darkness
The
surrounds you.
darkness is strong. Um, so what's up, man? What are
So
we
we got a
talking
few
about
things to
today?
talk
What's
about.
good,
One of
man?
the things is the allegedly rumored Ahsoka Tano show that's in development at Lucasfilm. Now, let me reiterate here: there are no confirmed sources, nothing. These are just I don't even know where this came from, but I just see all these different news outlets on the internet covering this, and they say that there is some source from some website. I got it up here, and we can talk about it a little bit. According to ace scooper Daniel RPK, Lucasfilm is reportedly developing a series that will focus on Ahsoka Tano for Disney Plus. Then they go on to say, I don't think this is going to be a surprise or anything. We don't know anything else other than the fact that Dave Filoni is supposedly going to be helming this project, which would be, of course, the right decision. They also go to say there's also a chance that this could be the female-led Star Wars series that's currently being developed by Russian doll showrunner Leslie Headland. There were no details on the plot to share for that.
That's interesting.
So,
That's really interesting. That
yeah,
actually would be really cool.
that could make sense.
Because like I said, that show, Russian Dolls or Russian Doll,
Yeah,
it's an it's an awesome show.
yeah.
It's a really, really awesome show.
I haven't seen it.
And it makes sense that this female led or this female centric show could be the show of Ahsoka Tano. That actually would be music to my ears. But I somehow thought that that same announcement also said that the show would deal with characters that are not in the current universe or something.
Right. So new ones.
Right? Didn't it say something like that too?
I didn't read that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, they can't keep using the same old characters.
Yeah, but Ahsoka Tano is far from the same old character, I think. I think that that would be awesome.
No, but I mean, like, if they use Ahsoka, they can't use the same characters from the Clone Wars and all that. They're gonna have to bring new people in there for sure. And the
Right.
thing is that apparently it's gonna be live action, which is pretty cool. And I guess maybe Dave Filoni was kind of getting his training in for the Mandalorian because if you did you watch the third episode for Disney Gallery Mando behind the scenes
So
stuff? It
I've
came out.
only I've only like pinpointed very specific moments that I've
Okay.
watched out of that.
Okay.
Like I'm fascinated with that technology that they have, the LED virtual screen, like you know. And I'll say this because this is the rule of two army. This is like family. And
Definitely. Yeah.
I drop stuff on here that I don't tell anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm building out my own studio like that, you know, so I can make my own productions and do my own like movies and maybe even be able to do a bunch of fan films with you. You know, you and I have talked about that.
Yeah. We have. Yeah.
So I've watched a lot of that stuff when they deal with that technology. And of course, I've seen all the stuff about Dave Filoni and his amazing insights into Duel of the Fates, which I thought were just mind blowingly cool.
Yeah.
But besides that, I haven't really dug into it too much.
No. Okay. All right. Fair enough. But it's pretty interesting. It basically just goes over like behind the scenes stuff with the actors, the producers, people behind the set, behind the camera. And it's cool because it gives you an insight into Dave Filoni as he embarks on this live action type of directing. And I think it's kind of like a precursor to him working on something bigger, even, which would be the Ahsoka show. Which, if the rumors are true, that'd be really cool. I couldn't see that going wrong. I think it would be really an interesting perspective to get that in live action, especially in a show centered all around her. I just hope it's not going to be like the rumored ObiWan show, which they change the scripts on. That they're it won't show her at the end of the freaking season,
Right,
you know?
right. Which I have pretty good sources on that. That the Obi-Wan show was pretty much no Obi-Wan until the last episode, and that they actually stopped the production to change that.
Good. I'm really
Can
happy
you
about that.
imagine?
No, I can't. I'm pretty sure fans would be at like their last straw, man. That would be it.
Like that would be it. Like enough with the bait and switch, brothers.
Yeah. No more, no more, no more clickbait, baby.
No more clickbait, baby.
No more.
Oh
Oh
God, no
God,
more.
man.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, it's good to be back with the Rule of Two Army here. What up, fam? How you doing? I'm doing pretty good, man. Did you game out a lot this weekend?
Darth Zenith. I didn't read your super chat because you retracted it. What would you say? You said something about something. Uh, yeah, man. It was good. Gamed until like 5:30 in the morning, playing some GTA.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
we'll do that again tonight. Um,
Brings back a lot
what's
of memories for me.
what's this new thing going on about The Empire Strikes Back?
Oh
Something
yeah,
you'd
man.
seen?
This is mind blowing. This is mind blowing. And I sent you an article that we did on Collider about it. But today on StarWars.com, there was this really interesting little article that came out, a little tidbit of knowledge that we're almost at the 40 year, or we are at the 40-year anniversary. Damn, has it been that long, dude?
I
Yeah,
wasn't
the
even
40
born.
year the 40-year anniversary. Oh, look, Thrall Stormbringer. Somebody knows my SWG name. What up, Nick? That's funny.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're at the 40-year anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, right? And I thought that nothing could like teach me anything new about Empire. But today some really interesting stuff came out that when the movie was first released in theaters in 1980, it was actually released in 70 millimeter for 3 weeks. And George, being the ultimate genius tinkerer that he is, actually watched the movie and at the end of the film felt that it wasn't clear where all the characters were when the movie ended. So he actually, here in Hollywood, in the Valley, called in the folk who runs ILM, Joe Johnston, who eventually became a filmmaker in his own right, and some other folks, brought them all together and reshot three brand new scenes that are the current ending of Empire Strikes Back. So if you saw Empire the first 3 weeks it came out, and then you saw it the subsequent weeks, the ending was completely different.
Do we
And
have
I
anyone in here in the comments watching right now who saw Empire in theaters in the first 2 weeks that it came out ever? Is any if you're here, type one right now and let us know if you can confirm that the ending was changed. And what
Yeah,
was it?
because I never knew about that. I never knew that the
I didn't
ending of
know that.
Empire was changed.
I
I
didn't
mean,
know that.
obviously we all know about the special edition modifications and tweaks that have happened to the films throughout time,
Hmm.
but for George, and it was the first time George made a change to the movie, right? If this is true, which I think it is, because it was reported on Star Wars, and then Collider picked up the story, um, is that the last scene was changed. There was three new shots added to the end. That is the ending that we all know and love.
We got a few ones here. A lot of you have actually been there. That's really cool. So did you notice anything? You notice anything different, guys?
But you guys saw the movie when it first came out in the 70 millimeter print.
I'm excited to know what the ending actually was, what the original one.
Yeah, the article doesn't really make like I don't think it's too clear what the original ending was, and
No.
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I guess
But
this
look,
just got dwindled out with time, right? Because I guess no one really, obviously, no one had phones back then, really. But um, what? No one comments about this today. I mean, I feel like maybe it's not that big of an ending or that different of an ending.
um, yeah, yeah. Look, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but the story's out there. You can go to collider.com and check
It
out the
ends with
story.
Vader saying no. Very
No.
out of topic and probably even almost out of Star Wars topic, but honest and on the space pirate Captain Harlock. Could he possibly fit in for a Star Wars story? I have no clue who that is.
I have no idea who that
I
is. I
have
know
no
I'm gonna
idea who
get
that is.
shit for it. Oh, excuse me, crap for it, but I
Space
don't know who
pirate
that is.
Captain Harlock. I don't know. Hello there,
What about
Emery.
what about Dash Rendar? Are we gonna get a Dash Rendar in the movies
What
ever?
about a Kyle Katarn?
Oh, dude, Cal Katarn, that was my dude, bro. Cal Katarn, it might be my second favorite character after Anakin Skywalker.
He's like an Obi-Wan kind of.
Because Kyle Katarn, like, that was me, man. I was Kyle Katarn, you know?
He's
Um,
very
I
yeah. Yeah, no, he's not really like Obi-Wan, I guess, but
I mean, he's more like Han Solo turning into a Jedi,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Which I think is pretty cool. Which I think is pretty cool. If you guys don't know who we're referring to, I'm sure you all do, but he's the main character of Jedi Academy or Jedi
Yeah.
Knight. I'm
Jedi Knight.
sorry, and I think there's like a remastered version of Jedi Knight for the PS4 that just came out.
I don't really think it's all that remastered.
No,
No, I don't think so. I would have
because
been on that, man. But yeah, it just looks the same. I
Yeah, I'm
think they
thinking
just
about maybe
re-released it.
playing it. I'm thinking about playing it, but yeah, if it's not remastered, it's just
I
the
got it for the
same
Switch, and it's I think it's the same thing, dude.
same game, no graphic update.
I don't think. I think maybe it's a little bit smoother, but it's not really that much different. Do you think Ahsoka deserves her own show? Yeah, 100%, man.
One
Dude,
thousand.
season 7 was pretty much her own show after episode what 6 or something. It was all about her. It was cool.
I
Zach,
think
thanks for being a member. Yeah,
yeah, I think that Ahsoka probably deserves her own show more than any other character in Star Wars canon that isn't the core characters.
yeah,
Like obviously, like if I was running Star Wars and everybody's gonna say, "Oh, you know, thank God you're not running Star Wars," but if I was running Star Wars, I would just focus on Vader. I think Vader is the number one way to bring that franchise back, to make money off that franchise. Vader is literally everybody's favorite anti-hero.
yeah.
Like he is at the level of Spider-Man and Superman and Batman. Darth Vader is the most interesting anti-hero ever created for entertainment media, in my
I agree.
opinion.
Yeah,
And he's completely underutilized by Disney. Rogue One, you watch Rogue One, yeah, it's a cool movie. Everybody only talks about those last 5 minutes.
yeah.
Like those last 5 minutes are why it's a cool movie, in my opinion. The movie's all right, it's fine, and you know I love Krennic. I think Captain Krennic is an incredible character.
Director
But
Krennic is the best.
yeah,
He's definitely one of the best additions, one of the newest additions that they've made that I
yeah,
really like.
Krennic is awesome. I mean, like I quote Krennic all the time. I mean, he is awesome. But Darth Vader is the man, so that's what I would focus everything on. But if you're not going to focus on that, I think Ahsoka Tano is an interesting one because A, she's a Jedi, so she's strong in the Force. B, she's a really interesting character. I just hope they're consistent with what she's like and don't try to change her too much. And C, she's connected to Anakin Skywalker in the deepest of ways. So
Yeah,
now we're able to potentially explore that storyline.
yeah. I think well, I think they have this philosophy that if they show too much Vader, then it just gets boring. But I disagree. But then again, it's me. We here at our prequel memes request help on defeating ROT memes from the Rotten Tomatoes Summer Move contest to secure victory of Revenge of the Sith. All right, boys, you know what to do. Go to our prequel memes and show them your love.
Well,
Execute Order 66. I don't even know,
what
but
what happened?
if
Prequel memes. I love prequel memes,
I
but what
love
happened?
prequel memes too. They got my support. I don't know. Defeating Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, defeating the original trilogy memes. Okay, so prequel memes versus trilogy. Okay, all right. Prequel versus OT. It's just a contest, man. It's just a fun contest. I love
Yeah.
the OT, but I gotta say, yeah, prequels they're my boy. Hey, Theory, been a fan watching your videos for a couple of years, but just became a member during the last episode of the Rule of Two. May the Force be with you. Hey, thanks, Brock. That's really nice of you, dude. I appreciate that. So, when did you see Empire Strikes Back?
So I saw Empire Strikes Back on television for the first time.
Okay.
Okay. I lived in Venezuela when I was growing up, which is a country obviously in South America. And a friend of mine, his name was Armando, was American or was Venezuelan also, but had lived in America. And he came back to Venezuela with two VHSs, one of Star Wars and one of Empire Strikes Back. So it was already by the time that it was had come out on VHS,
Oh, okay.
and they were in English. Okay, and I didn't speak English growing up. So the first time I watched Star Wars and Empire, it was the same day. I'll never forget it. It was the same day in Caracas, Venezuela, and I watched Star Wars and Empire the same day. It was like a binge type of situation. I thought it was incredible, but I didn't speak English really all
Yeah.
that well,
Yeah.
and they were in English, But I got the story, and it's like in film school, they teach us. It's probably the most important thing I ever learned in film school. If you can't turn the volume off on your movie and still know exactly what's going on, you're making a shitty movie.
Yeah.
Bottom
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
That to me is probably the most important lesson I ever learned in film school.
Yeah.
And then in 1983, I moved to the U.S. And I got to see Return of the Jedi in the theaters. I still didn't really speak great English, but I knew English a little bit better. So Return of the Jedi is really the first Star Wars movie that I saw in the theaters.
Yeah.
And then, of course, after that, I just kept watching them over and over and over and over and over again on VHS.
Yeah. Did you see Return of the? You didn't see Return of the Jedi in theaters then. So which was the first Star Wars movie you saw in theaters?
Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Return of the Jedi was the first one I saw in theaters. How about you? Phantom?
Phantom Menace. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was the first one I ever saw, and I remember being like obsessed with Maul. But I was 9 years old when Phantom Menace came out,
Because you
so
were.
I saw the originals on VHS first.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I still think I have my original VHS copies, like unaltered. But to be honest with you, I'm like one of those guys that likes the newer versions of them. Like I think it's better that Ian McDermott is in Empire Strikes Back as the Emperor.
Yeah,
You
dude, and
know,
also I like Hayden's Ghost.
I love Hayden's Ghost is my favorite part.
I remember the
Uh,
first time I saw that after seeing all the originals and all that. I teared up, man. I was like a little kid. I don't know what was I, like 12 or 13. It was amazing. It was so cool because it really intertwined everything together. I'm like, this is my favorite character. And now he's back. He's alive. And I remember just sitting there. It was such a big moment. And I'm like, what? He's there. And that's the kind of thing is like we don't really. I haven't felt that way about. Well, we're not gonna go there. Can you
what
see?
is it? Was it too depressing or something? Or
No, why? No, I just don't want to rehash old stuff. I haven't felt that way about the new stuff
oh, right,
because
right, right,
yeah, but I
right.
feel like if they did that, if they showed the ghosts of the prequel trilogy characters, like that would have been really cool. But I still felt that way somewhat when I heard the voices, at least.
I I think I've talked to you about this before. You know what? I will talk about the sequels a little bit. You know what? My favorite single shot. It's close, but in the sequels. Let me ask you this first, and then I'll tell you mine. What's your favorite moment, scene, shot in all of the sequels?
Sequels?
Yeah.
Um,
Don't think about it too long.
yeah, dude, I
Oh, come on. What's that number one shot that you get in the sequels? Like every time you think about the sequels, that one shot that like is your anchor that makes you actually like enter it from a positive place, from a good place. Nothing.
well,
you're, you're coming up blank.
yeah, I don't know when
Come
I
on.
think of putting me on the spot, man. I don't know.
Okay,
And
fine. I'll tell you
I'm
mine. I'll
not
tell you
trying to
mine,
be
and
a
then
jerk. I'm really trying to think like what is a moment in the sequels that I really enjoyed. Okay, it's one that I literally never think about, but it's a cool moment. I remember seeing it in the trailer was when Kylo came out of the water of the Death Star with his the Antichrist of his saber, and it was flipped upside down, or the not the Antichrist, the cross.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
could see
yeah.
like he was the whatever the I don't know if that was like a biblical reference that JJ
Yeah,
was
that's
making
fair
or
from Rise of Skywalker, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I
So
thought that was cool.
so for me, it's and maybe I'll tell you mine and then you can think about if there's another one, okay? But for me, the shot that I love the most probably is, you know, look how old you've become. Like
Okay. Yeah.
that moment I thought when I first saw that, I was like, oh boy, we're in for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is gonna be a buckle up because it's
Yeah.
gonna be a
Yeah.
bumpy ride.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, dude, this is gonna
Yeah.
be awesome. You
Yeah.
know,
The first time I saw The Force Awakens, I really didn't like it, and then it grew on me.
but the first couple scenes in the Force Awakens are
Were
really good.
amazing, dude. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So if we're gonna pick one, then I guess when Kylo froze the blaster bolt.
Okay, that's awesome too, right?
All right.
Like
Yeah, that
that.
one
Yeah.
sticks out.
For me, it's look how old you've become.
Yeah.
But then the visually, the one that gives me the feels the hardest is right after that. There's a scene of BB-8 kind of escaping, and it gets really quiet, and they shoot it day for night, which means that it's really shot in the daytime, but the colors are so skewed so it looks like nighttime. It makes the blue sky really saturated,
Cool.
and BB-8's going over that little sand dune, and you see
Oh
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
little alien pop up and look
yeah,
around, like
yeah,
to me, I'm like, damn, that's Star Wars, man. Like
yeah,
I was there, I
yeah.
was there for it. And then whatever, the rest of the movie happens and things start falling down from there, in my opinion. But um like even the sequels have some moments,
They
where
do.
you're like,
You know what? Even though I really didn't like this scene, it was shot in a beautiful way. It was in the Last Jedi when Luke was looking at the twin suns.
when he's going through the
It
constipation.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. When he had this.
When he opens his eyes and looks at the twin suns and he's like tearing up or whatever. When we get the music, the
Yeah,
John Williams
yeah,
theme, even though you
yeah.
know that stupid ending is gonna happen, it was still emotional for sure
Yeah, but
because it
let's hear
reminds
some.
you of A New Hope.
The chat, if you throw up some of your favorite moments in the sequels. But because there are some moments, I think I also really like, and this again is in the beginning of the film. I thought the first act of that film is amazing. I really like Finn, and I thought Finn did such a great job with the humor. And it's like, especially when him and Poe first meet up, it's like, oh, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah. They
you
had a
need
cool
somebody to catch
friendship.
you out of here,
Yeah,
like all those things were cool,
yeah.
like
I know what you
it
mean.
was it was building up some really fun stuff, and then whatever, to
Yeah.
me actually, I think I've talked about this on the show before. I know I talked about it on Rule of Two for years, but for me, when Han Solo shows up is when things start going sideways.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
because it makes no sense why he's there. Like, how the hell is he there all of a sudden? It's like out of all the spaceships, like all the start,
Well, he
like
tracked
how
it because it turned on. He tracked it. He tracked the Millennium Falcon.
he tracked it. I mean, but so he
Yeah.
was like, so he was in that planet. It just seems like,
No, no. So once they turned it on and they got out of there into space, he tracked their ship. He tracked his old ship because he's got a tracker on. So obviously something popped up and it was like or whatever, and he tracked it.
hold on, but the ship, and correct me if I'm wrong, dude, okay? And I know the chat's gonna go nuts here. The ship leaves Jakku,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
leaves Jakku,
Yeah.
and then seconds later, it gets tractored.
Yeah. So they jump into hyperspace or something.
Okay, okay. It just seems convenient. It seems extremely convenient.
Well, definitely. But don't you think like all right, let's say so the chat knows about should we talk about something you really like? Some let's say a vehicle you really like, you're very close to.
Yeah,
Let's say someone steals it and you've got a tracker on it that whenever
you
someone
got a
starts
low
the
jack.
engine,
You got a low jack on it.
so whenever the engine starts, you get a GPS of where it is. You're gonna go
Yeah,
to that thing, right?
yeah,
Yeah, come on. Yeah. So they did that too. It is
yeah.
convenient, but I know what you mean.
It's that entire movie was very convenient, but I look, I think it's the best of the sequels. I think bottom line, it's the best of the sequels.
Yeah, I agree. You know what bugs me though is that we never got to see all of the lightsaber fights weren't really, at least in the originals and the sequels, weren't really the two main characters trying to kill each other. Well, one was, and the other one was too powerful. Vader was more powerful than Luke, and he was always just trying to toy with him and test him. And then Kylo was always just testing Rey, except for the time when he actually beat her, which she blindsided him when Leia, died or whatever, and he's just like standing there for like 10 minutes, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna die now."
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So I feel like all the fights weren't really like these crazy all-out fights that we saw in the prequels, which was like
Right.
like Dooku and Obi-Wan and Anakin, or like Dooku and Yoda even, even though Yoda wasn't trying to really kill him, Dooku was at least, and which I guess kind of negates my point there, but you know what I mean? Like
No,
Anakin,
it's a great
like
point.
Anakin, Obi-Wan,
It's a
Obi-Wan,
great point.
Qui-Gon, Maul. Like they're not fighting to
Yeah,
test each other. They're fighting for a purpose. They're
they're
fighting to
fighting
win.
for destiny.
Yeah, for destiny, the duel of the fates,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
which we now
absolutely.
know is the fate of that, which is so cool. And it's like all of these fights were so pivotal, and they were all out versus the other ones. I feel like were for a test, which I get for the story, but it kind
The
of
look,
takes away
the
the
only,
intensity.
and I know you and I have slightly different opinions on this. I love the fan made scene 36, A New
38.
Hope, 38. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah, yeah.
thing, and I'll watch that like once every few months, because that fight to me means a lot. The like that fight of Obi-Wan letting Vader kill him so that he can fulfill. Oh, dude, this is so crazy because Obi-Wan lives to some degree with the regret that he wasn't able to be the father figure for Anakin in life.
Yeah,
He was a brother, not a father. You
right.
know, what happens to Obi-Wan when he's in isolation? He continues his teachings with Qui-Gon. We don't know exactly what happens, right? Because it's never been put on screen, but we
Qui Gon,
do
Qui
know.
Gon, Qui Gon actually never talks to him until just before A New Hope. In the
Well, we don't know
book,
that for sure. We don't
we
know that
do
for sure.
in canon. Yeah, yeah. From the book, from a certain point of view, yeah. Qui Gon, for the first time, will materialize to Obi Wan pretty much before A New Hope takes place.
Sure, but would you admit that if they were to make an Obi-Wan film or a TV show or whatever, they have the ability to retcon that. They don't
Oh
have
yeah,
to
yeah. Of
stick to
course.
that
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
all,
Of course.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
so like it's just like, you know what? George Lucas said it perfectly back in the old days. He was like, the movies are a first-hand account of what's going on. The books and the comics and the video games and all of this stuff are legends. And he said like like most myths, there's truth in it, but the story has somehow lost a little bit of its first person quality. That's
You
how
said the books are legends, even the novelizations?
um he didn't use
Doesn't he
like
sign off on those?
there's an incredible article in Lucasfilm magazine back in the old days where George Lucas, and you guys should Google it, where George Lucas talks exactly about the philosophy of the movies versus everything else. And it wasn't like the way that we look at canon now, where it's like this is canon and this isn't, this
Yeah.
is legends. It was like this is a first-hand account, and this other stuff are stories that are told. And yes, some of them have truth in them, but we don't really know where the truth starts and the truth ends. We just know that there's truth in them. That's how he looked at it because he didn't have a distinction of canon and legends. Everything was canon. It's just the movies were a first-hand account and everything else were stories told throughout the galaxies. I think he might have actually used the word legends, and maybe that's where it comes from. Um,
Hmm.
but my point is that we've never had a first-hand account of what Obi-Wan went through. Okay,
No, yeah.
um, and if Obi-Wan now has this moment where he learns through Qui-Gon, whether it took a day or a year, of how to be a better father figure, maybe not to Anakin, but that he could fulfill that regret by being the father figure to Luke. Then that moment where he fights Vader and he takes his death, he's not really he's not so much admitting failure or death to Anakin. By letting Anakin kill him, it allows him to actually be the father to Luke that he could never be to Anakin. Wow.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Damn, that Dave Filoni guy, he really did illuminate us on a lot of shit.
He did, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
He knows his stuff.
yeah, it's really
I could
powerful.
listen to him talk, man, all day, just
You
enlightening,
know, I've
dude.
never met him.
I don't know if I'll ever meet these guys,
I've never met him. I've never
but it'd be
met him.
cool, and at least it's it's humbling to be able to see them from afar, on screen. That's that's great,
And like see their work, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and how passionate they are for it, and sure, at the end of the day, they all get paid and all this stuff, but you can do it with a sense of pride and passion and enjoyment versus just doing it for a paycheck. And I think Dave Filoni is one of those people that really works because he loves what he does. He really, really enjoys it. It is what wakes him up in the morning, and puts a spring in his step. So we got a lot of super
Yes.
chats here we got to go over before we can get to some of them now, and then we'll
Yeah,
continue
we
the
got, dude.
talk.
First of all, we got plenty of time. Well, we're only 30 minutes in, man. This is just getting started, you
Yeah,
know?
dude.
Like,
Yeah,
throw your questions up there. What do you want to talk about?
guys, let us know.
Help me convince this guy to come play Star Wars Galaxies with me. I've been having a
What the hell?
blast.
What are you talking about? I tried downloading it. It didn't work.
I've been having a
Game over.
blast playing Star Wars Galaxies. We'll try again, dude. We'll try again.
I
Um,
meant to say honest opinion on Captain Harlock. I still don't know who that is. Man, I'm sorry. Um,
I don't know who that is either.
yeah, you with the CIS or Gar? I'm Gar.
Oh, actually, somebody just reminded me. Last week we talked about actors that are playing characters. We got a few cool ones, but I think my favorite one, not to blow anything up or anything, but I think my favorite one actually comes from a cast member of your Vader fan film who played
Oh
Padme,
yeah, Cat LaSalle. She's
Amidala.
amazing.
Who did she drew a really beautiful colored penciled drawing
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up.
of Benedict Cumberbatch as Admiral Thrawn,
Yeah,
and I thought she did an amazing job of really capturing both characters in that pencil drawing. I was blown away by how cool
yeah.
she did that.
Let me pop this
I'm
up
not
here.
sure what her name is. I think on social her name is Castal or something like
Cat.
that.
It's Cat LaSalle 2. Here you go. You guys go. Check that out. That's crazy. Like that looks legit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to Kat. Go give her a follow. Tell her we sent you. There's her info right there. And she might have a part in episode 2 as well. What? Revan? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me pull up my emails actually. Let's see here. Do 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 do. I told you to come to this, Marc. All right, let's see.
Says my mic is not working. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you. What do you mean?
I don't know. People, I think people like to troll.
There are a lot of trolls in the world. I've come to learn.
Says Mark is really quiet. Let me boost my yo test. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I
Yeah.
got a brand new mic, a hot little mic. I got a new camera coming in too. Mark is Mark. Oh, you muted me.
No, dude, you're fine. You're coming through, man. They're that makes no sense. You're fine, dude.
All right, mods. It's the same guy. I just realized. I think it's the same guy saying it. Oh God.
Okay, here we go. No, well, I'm showing them the. If you look on the screen, I'm showing them the different works that have been done. Yeah. So that one is by Frankie, and then here we got Rishi Kumar. Made this. Looks pretty good. Then we got Chase Hervey. We got the cast right there. This is cool, dude. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it does. I can't get this Mara Jade properly. God damn it. There we go. Yeah, man. They look good. Oh, wow. Got a photoshopped one, too. This by Andrew Batchelor. That looks legit. Dave Beal, but he didn't say anything. He didn't send anything. You guys are some really good artists. What the hell? Where have you been all my life? Yeah, this one's by Chris Gillian. Gillian? You guys are all for the Cumberbatch Thrawn. By Alessio. Mika Millard. Okay, I will. Yeah, these are all really nice. These are really good. Oh, these are crazy. These are crazy.
I'm booted. I feel like we're playing COD and you booted me out of the
There we
game.
go. There we go. Now they can hear you.
Yo.
It's pretty cool, man. These
Rise.
are some very good artists. I gotta hire some of you guys. This is crazy.
Oh, dude, that Darth Bane, Tom Hardy looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks
Go
good.
back to that.
I could see that. Ramkota. I could see that, dude. Yondu. That's cool. That one's by Jack Fleet. Then we got a few more left. Colvin Asher. Some nice detail. Miklos. Oh, once again. Dude, yeah. Looks good, man. Oh, wow, we have a lot more. Never mind. Okay, well, those were some of them. I'm not going to go through all of them because I feel like it's going to be way too many unless you guys want me to. But
Just post them.
yeah, I could just
Post
post
them.
them, man.
Post them on the website.
Yeah, okay, I can post them on the website. Maybe I
Yeah.
could give them to you. You can post them on Collider. Cool.
Cool.
Well, that was it for this rule of two, guys. Thanks for.
Yo, put me back on the screen, dude.
You are. What do you mean?
No, no. Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Now I'm back.
It's treason.
Rise.
My boy. Yo, is that Tom Hardy? Yeah. What's your wallpaper? That's my wallpaper. Hold up. It is a concept from episode 2.
So
You probably can't see all of it. Anyway.
so look, I think a lot of people are asking. You posted two screenshots of the Vader fan film, two concept art shots. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, so I've been waiting to make like a standalone video about the Vader fan film, which I will. Been saying that for a few months now, but those are basically just cinematics that we've been working on for 2 years now. The first year was a complete write-off. The second year now that we're entering is going very well, and I've got a new VFX team, and they're doing a really good job. And this is basically an idea that I had to have take place right before Vader shows up in the film. So when the hole was blown open, how did the boys do that? How did the clones do that? What did they find in the hole? What's going on in the hole? Pretty much before Vader shows up, and then it'll tie into that scene there. So um, I just like to show the point of view of the clones and what is happening in the hole in the catacombs with,
Yeah, yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, um, it looks really sharp, dude. It looks really sharp, and I don't know how much I can say, so I'm not going to say anything because I do know certain things about the plot
yeah, you
and
know a
about
lot of stuff.
how. Yeah, so, but I thought that those concept pieces really fleshed out what I do know about the plot in a really cool, interesting way that gets me very, very excited about the completed fan film. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I wish that I had my virtual production studio up and running because I know that we could do a lot of the stuff that you're trying to do.
yeah,
Because like a lot of the stuff that you do, you shoot with practical effects.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
use actual sound stage and you use practical props.
yeah,
Where I think that the Mandalorian, which is why I love Star Wars. To me, Star Wars, I don't love Star Wars just for the story.
yeah,
Like people big, oh, he doesn't know this, he doesn't know that. What I love Star Wars is for how it informs my philosophy on life, right? Like that's why I love Star Wars.
yeah,
And to me, the most important thing about Star Wars was that when I was a kid and a young adult, and even an adult watching it, it wasn't just about how cool is the story. It was about how much is the art form of cinema evolving forward,
mm,
and the tools that come to bear because of Star Wars have changed cinema, and it's good to see that The Mandalorian is employing tools with these virtual reality production sets that are actually, I think, going to be the next evolution of film production. And it's a huge step forward, especially during these Corona times where it makes it a lot more difficult to shoot on location. To be able to have the flexibility to do things virtually with virtual reality cameras. So I'm pretty psyched about that.
me too.
What?
Mark needs a cameo in episode 2, and then oh god.
What did it
Oh
say?
god. People are saying you need a cameo in episode 2.
But why a cameo? But why is that funny?
Because some guy said something else. I'll tell you later. Oh god. Uh, yeah. Anyways, episode 2 is gonna be fun. Pretty excited for it. Whenever it does happen. What?
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 What do you?
Oh, you froze. That's why.
Oh, did I
Before you
freeze?
end, yeah, you frozen. You were like smiling. Before you end the stream, can you answer my question? Hey, Star Wars Theory and Collider, do you like to see an Eastern Japan inspiration planet in the Star Wars universe? Sure, that'd be cool. Well, I mean, Star Wars pretty much took all of its essence from the Magnificent Seven, kind of.
So actually, like the
Toshiro
Kurosawa
Mifune.
stuff, that was the big inspiration to Lucas was one called the Hidden Fortress.
Hmm.
Um, and the Hidden Fortress, um, was basically the dynamic between them is very much the Hidden Fortress, which you haven't if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend. It's an awesome movie.
Yeah. Okay. Theory, I got a Star Wars sleeve I'd love to send to you. That'd be cool, man. Rank your favorite Star Wars novels with legends. That's a long video, dude. Should they remake Revenge of the Sith with Clone Wars animation? It would be cool to see it in the Clone Wars style. Um,
No, Revenge
no,
of the Sith
keep
is
it as it
perfect.
is. Yeah, yeah.
There's
Can we
only
see
one
this?
thing that I would change in Revenge of the Sith. It's only one thing I would change, and I've told you about this.
The Jedi Temple?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would be cool. I also watch Ahsoka TV series and Cassian Andor show. Mark doesn't think the Cassian Andor show is going to happen.
I don't think the Cassian Andor show is ever going to happen.
Why?
I mean, A, I have sources,
Okay.
but B, I have logic. You
Right.
know, and
Dude,
logic tells me, why
I'm
would you put money into that?
I'm
Like,
excited for
why?
that. I think it would be cool because I mean, look, Cassian Andor was in Rogue One, and Rogue One was sweet because it was part of the Empire, right? So everything that happens in that show could kind of echo what's going on in the Empire at that time, and we could see Vader and Palpatine and all this stuff, and Krennic. Don't you think? Doesn't have to be all about Cassian.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Where are you at right now? Your brain's somewhere else.
No, no, I just got a text for some work stuff, but it's not happening.
Do you want to
Maybe it is
do you want to
happening.
cut it short?
No, 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 it's all good. It's all
Okay.
good.
All right. Are you interested in a Dr. Aphra movie, TV, or film adaptation? Yeah, not really though. Well, yeah, I mean, we could see more Vader. Disney's first
She was one
compelling
of the
original
cool.
character, in my opinion. Also, keep up the good work, guys. Yeah,
She was. I I wasn't the biggest fan of that Vader comic series,
yeah,
but she was my favorite part about it. I thought she was actually a really interesting character.
yeah.
So I'm actually Team Afra.
You'd be down for that?
I'd be
Okay.
down for that. I'd be more down for that than I would be a Cassian Andor series.
What is happening with the Vader fan film? Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Wie geht's es dir, mein Freund? Guys
What's
gaming
happening is that I'm
after?
being cast. I'm being
Yes.
cast in it, obviously, as a character I don't know yet.
Oh, some guy was like cast him as Bib Fortuna. Well, then who am I? What freaking Jabba? The Wanawanga. Bleh. You should do a video with. Oh God. I'm not saying that. Can we see the Star Wars? Yeah, you did. Force Ghost. Luke raises up the X-wing is my favorite scene. Okay.
In Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah. Okay, but my issue with that is like, then why doesn't he just hop in there and I mean, he can grab lightsabers. He can move stuff with the Force.
I don't look. Here's a hot take. Okay, here's a hot take for you. I don't think the sequels are canon.
You can't keep saying that. They're canon, obviously.
I don't think so, dude. They're not my canon. That's not.
Yeah, they're not. They're not George Lucas. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Dude, like my we always talked about this on Rule of Two for years. It's like, what's your Star Wars wish, right? If you could have one Star Wars wish, like what would it be, right? And for me, my Star Wars wish is that I
George
would get an
Lucas
email.
is returning.
It's even simpler than that. I want to get an email one day, just like I did with a certain other script, and say, "Hey, Mark, check it out, bro. Here's episode 7, the way that Michael Arndt and George Lucas wrote it."
That'd
Like
be
that's
nice.
that's my Star Wars dream,
That'd be
because that
nice.
script is out. It's out there.
Yeah.
I know people that have seen it. I don't know anybody that has read it, but I know people that have seen the script. And Michael Arndt still receives top screenwriter credit for Force Awakens, even though he had nothing to do with it, because that script was still the core script that they used to build off of for the Force Awakens. We don't know what it was called. We don't know who the characters were. We don't know much about it. Um, Nothing that's substantiated, but we do know
The will of the
that
Force.
George Lucas had an outline for the next trilogy, and he wrote Episode 7 with Michael Arndt,
Yeah.
who wrote Toy Story 3. And we know that that script was finished as a final draft. Now, that to me, man,
You froze, buddy.
for the trilogy. I froze.
Yeah. You're freezing a lot today. You're good now.
I mean, my connection's good.
Yeah. Do you watch Sam Witwer on Twitch? Yes, I do. I lurk in the background sometimes.
My boy.
Yeah. I like Sam Witwer, man. He's a cool
I
guy.
love. Yeah.
And the people are still to this day going in on him on the freaking like it's just dumb. With the great success of Fallen Order, what story would you like to see turned into a video game or return from the ashes of closed development? I would like to see you play as Vader and just
Yeah,
hunting down
I
Jedi.
was just about to say that. I
Yeah,
was
you know,
just-
like in Force Unleashed 1, where Vader is you're playing as Vader in the beginning. That's cool, and you're like killing the Wookiees. I think that would be cool to have like as a full game with the same graphics or better than Fallen Order.
I was just about to say that. Number one. That's the number one game right there.
Yeah, they'd make a lot of money. Oh well.
Actually,
This
you know what I would love to do is do a deal where I can remake Star Wars Galaxies and like use the same basic engine and the same game design and just update the combat, update the graphics, and just live there. You
yeah.
know, just since we got all this quarantine shit, I'll just move to. I'll get a little house in Naboo. I'll get a little house in
Yeah.
Talis,
Yeah.
maybe in Dantooine. Have a little summer home in
What
Dantooine.
would you do if they remastered Star Wars Galaxies with the same graphics of Fallen Order or something?
I'd shit myself. I'm sorry to say the bad word on the show, but I would literally shit myself. It would have to be pre-CU Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah, no, the same game you're playing.
Dude, it would be like a dream come true. It would be a dream come
Cool.
true.
Yeah, it'd be
Not
cool.
only for me, but I think for a lot of people.
How much do you think it would cost to remaster something like that?
$1 million, $1.5 million. Like if I had like if I had 1.5 milli, I can update the crap out of that game. And I still might. I still might just for fun. You know how you do fan films and you spend like a crazy amount of money on that? I might spend a crazy amount of money, and I have already because I've done my own Star Wars Galaxy servers before. I might do a brand new server, but completely upgrade the graphics,
Even though you can't make money from it.
even though I can't make money from it
Yeah.
because the game is that good. You know, and look, it's a 20-year-old game, so the graphics are a little long in the tooth.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, I mean, what if? Yeah. It's just we can't do crowdfunders around that. That's the only hard part.
you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. But look, it's a game that it's the only game of Star Wars, and I would put Jedi Battles up there too. Jedi Battles is a mod for actually I'm sorry, it's called Movie Battles. Movie Battles is a mod for Jedi Knight Academy for
Yeah.
Jedi Academy. Yeah, Jedi Academy, um, which is still pretty active. But it's a mod for a game that you can buy. Star Wars Galaxies you can't really buy anymore, right? It's completely shut down. And the fact that the fans reverse engineered the code from server packets from back 20 years ago and have reverse engineered the entire game over the last 15 years to get it to a place that you can play it again, to me is mind blowing of how much love people have for that game. You
Yeah.
shut down Fallen Order tomorrow, okay? There's nobody trying to rebuild Fallen Order so that you can play it, you know?
Mm.
So it's just like video games are, as you know, that's my favorite art form, you know, out of all of them. And I think Star Wars Galaxy is the greatest video game I've ever played. And I've played them all. I've worked on them. Look me up. Look at the games that I've worked on, you know, and look at the
Yeah.
jobs that I've had on them, the high level jobs.
Yeah. Rockstar in particular.
Yeah, and Galaxies, you know, Galaxies is a serious, ambitious video game that, to quote George Lucas, collapsed under the weight of its own ambition. Um, but it had ambition like nothing I'd ever seen before, and that's why I love it.
Well, maybe one day, we'll get something like that. Like a really cool, I don't know, MMO or something. I
Yeah,
still think Finn should have been the Jedi. Why did they have him holding the saber on the cover of Episode 7?
one
Was he holding
thousand
the
percent,
saber? Yeah, dude, Finn would have been a great Jedi.
1,000%. Finn was actually one of the first concept arts they ever let out of Force Awakens, and in the concept art, he has a saber hilt on. He has a saber on his on his waist.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't be surprised if in the George Lucas script, because that to me sounds like a very creative angle. If in the George Lucas script, um, one of the Jedi in the movie is a stormtrooper turned Jedi.
That'd be cool. I feel like it was just they didn't utilize that story too well because it's such an interesting, fresh story. A stormtrooper that goes rogue in the movies. It's neat.
Yeah.
This guy's a sequel fanboy. Execute Order 66. Who?
Ooh.
Force Ghost Luke raises up X-Wing. When Luke said a Jedi's weapon deserves more respect, all Finn did is shout, Rey! The absence of Luke's green lightsaber was sad. I agree. But we saw it when he tried to kill Kylo. Michael Mills, a new member, thanks, man. Definitely agree with that Star Wars theory. With Luke, it began with 2 sons and ended with 2 sons. Makes me emotional even now. Anything with Palpatine in Episode 9 is amazing. Love your channel, been following you for years. Have you thought about doing an episode with Obi-Wan and his feelings when Satine was killed by Maul? Hope you keep doing videos like your old stuff. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, obviously, like, what could I say? He was sad. Why do people forget Palpatine survived in Legends 2? He did. A lot of people don't know Legends. Sound Janies, thank you. Would you ever consider reading Deceived? Has Malgus in it. Sure. If Kit Harington were in the Star Wars world, who would you cast him as?
What a great answer.
Sure.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, would you ever consider?
Yeah,
Sure, man.
yeah.
If Kit Harington were in the Star Wars world, who would you cast him as?
I
I don't
think
know.
Kit Harington would have been a good Jason Solo.
Yeah.
You can see that, right?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see him as Jason Solo.
Ty Grenier, dude. I still have 2 more prints to send you. I want to finish special ink first piece to throw in. Dude, Ty made these over in the corner.
Which ones?
Right here. Fuck, it's on my face. God damn.
Yo, dude, I don't need to see your up your nose, bro.
I know, dude.
Oh, those are dope.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah. Stupid thing. Anyways, speaking of crowdfunders and Kickstarters and stuff like that, it's like, no, I'm not gonna go there. There's no way around it.
Go there. This is see. Let's get into this. Let's get into this.
This is dangerous territory, my friend.
What is it? Is the Galaxies related? No, right?
No, just in general, like, I don't know. I guess Patreon and super chats are the best way to go, and merch. But yeah, and I've been thinking of stopping the animations because they're not.
Oh, I
making,
see what you mean.
Yeah, they're
I
not
see what you
making they're not making money, dude. I'm
I,
like
I got you.
probably in the hole like 15 G's or so.
I got you. I got you.
But I love
I
making them.
loved the Vader one. I thought the Vader one was great.
Yeah,
You know, I thought it was smart.
yeah,
I thought it was quick to the point. I thought it was really good, man. I
yeah,
thought the Vader, with the little taking the shit on his head,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that's how I feel like a Star Wars fan
Yeah,
sometimes.
they just don't get enough views. That's all. I
You
mean,
know,
the older ones do a little bit, but I think they're funny. I think they're little funny, whatever's.
because you know what? Because like you said it beautifully. It's very poetic. I think the Star Wars sequels, okay, to quote the great David Chase, it's like somebody took a shit on your head and then
What the hell?
and then said, "Hey, thanks for the hat." You know. You know, it's like, and at the end of that little animation, what happens to Vader, I don't want to spoil it, but you should go watch it. That's how I feel. That's how I think every Star Wars fan feels. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, it
Well,
speaks
I
to
mean,
me.
wait, but literally the inspiration from that was Ryan Johnson. I mean, we just because I've been doing that series, this with episode 9 logic or episode 8 logic or whatever, and it's like just taking stuff that he wrote and just applying it to the other stuff, the other
Yeah,
content
yeah,
in
yeah.
Star Wars, and
It's
it's like
brilliant.
this is
It's
literally the exact same thing. There's no difference.
You get no argument from
Hey,
me,
Vader throws it
young.
over his
Yeah,
shoulder because he's done with the Jedi, and Luke
yeah,
threw it over his shoulder because he's done with the Jedi. You tell me what's the difference there,
yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. If you guys want to support the channel, go to my Patreon or throw me a super chat. That's all I gotta say, because some of these projects are coming to an end, my friend. Opinion on flashback sequence: The Rise of Skywalker, Luke, Leia. Oh, I think that was one of the coolest scenes. Luke and Leia fighting, right, Mark?
Yeah.
No, you're not down for it.
The I think
Or
I'm down for it. I'm down for it. It's cool to see, you know.
you,
But dude, I think The Rise of Skywalker is by far the worst Star Wars movie ever made.
no.
I think so, by far.
You
Like it's not
liked
even
it.
close. It's
You
not
didn't
even
like it
close.
more than The Last Jedi?
I think,
I feel
and
like your
dude,
whole perception changed once you spent like 2 hours with Ryan Johnson, man. You're like his
no,
buddy
no,
now.
that's not
You've been
fair because
converted.
I can't deal with The Last Jedi. I'm telling you right now, I've only
Yeah.
seen The Last Jedi twice.
Yeah,
Okay,
me
I've
too.
never been
Yeah.
able to sit through it again.
No.
I've seen Revenge of the Sith 3 times this week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
like I can't sit through Last Jedi. I
Yeah.
cannot sit through. I saw Rise of Skywalker twice. One because we did an opening night screening with Collider, and I had to be there, and I went to the premiere. I saw it twice. I've tried to watch it again. I can't sit through it. It's like I skip around, and even when I skip around, I can't find a good spot.
Yeah.
Like Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker are both crap.
I liked episode 9. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, which is totally cool, dude.
Well,
and dude,
let me before you.
yeah, go ahead.
Given what we were given in episode 8, I think it's cool. So let that stand.
1,000%. I get it. I feel you. But look, we've talked about this to death, okay? And I forgot how we even started down this path. You're going down a path I cannot follow.
Yeah.
Okay? But like the bottom line is, dude, is that we're here for Star Wars, you know?
Right.
And I get more of a kick out of watching fan-made Star Wars stuff than I do the real stuff, because fan-made Star Wars stuff, even though it might not be perfect, it's imagining what Lucas would have done with it, you know?
Right.
For me, Star Wars Galaxies is a game that when it came out, unfortunately, it was overshadowed because it was very difficult to play. Okay, extremely complicated game. But WoW came out, and WoW came out with guns a-blazing. You know, it's like Star Wars Galaxies had the biggest, most powerful MMO ever made, and then here comes WoW and says, hold my beer.
Yeah.
And you couldn't compete with it. And then the money they were spending on Galaxies was 3 times the money they were spending on WoW. So long story short, my point is, I love the idea of doing what you do for fan films for old school Star Wars video games. There's another game out there that I love called Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. I don't know. Did you ever play that game? It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece of storytelling. And Indiana Jones is always my guy. Like, I love Indiana Jones, And this is one of the greatest games I think ever made in terms of a story, like an awesome story of Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Remake that thing, But I know if I do that, Disney's just going to come after me and try to kill me,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. They're not really going to try to kill me, but, And look, and I love Disney, man. Disney helps me out. They help my company out. They're good to my company. But like Star Wars, we need Star Wars.
I love Disney too. I wish they didn't see me as like a enemy or like a threat or a whatever, just because I have I don't know. I'm not even gonna say big mouth. I don't censor myself, I guess. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I gotta one day talk to someone up there.
Theory looks hella bored.
God, they always say that. That's just my face.
Are you bored doing Rule of Two, man? Do you want to keep doing it?
I love Rule 2. What are you talking about?
Yeah, these guys are saying you look hella bored.
No, man. All you guys right here that are here still, 1,900 of you. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah.
We're not done yet, but
And for the
I'm
Rule of Two
releasing
fan
some
that made
new.
this shirt, thank
I'm
you.
I made a shirt. I have a few shirts like that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I have one in my closet over there. I got to show you guys. I'm making
Oh,
some new hats. Uh, they're gonna be a special, so just like the amethyst drop. So I want you guys to be aware. Just put your pennies away. All right, just save your pennies up. It's coming. They're gonna be really good.
hopefully, I get a free one.
You do get a free one. Yes.
Okay, good, good.
Yes. Have you thought about recording an audiobook? You can do the voices and have the fire for it. Uh, if I get
Well,
hired.
you know what, dude? Before we go, can I talk about one thing on the show that I want to talk about?
Yeah, we don't have to go, man.
Okay. I Everybody in the chat who saw the what if Vader had captured Luke in Empire Strikes Back fan fiction, type one, because I want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, I thought first of all, I thought it was very, very well done.
Thanks,
Okay,
man.
I was really inspired by it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought
Thank
it
you.
was a lot of fun. Um, what's your process in going through that? Because like what impressed me the most about that was the voicings, like all the different voices, and like it did feel like an audiobook. It did have an audiobook vibe to it, like almost like a
Mm.
radio show. Like have you ever thought about maybe doing that? Maybe like
I've thought about. So here's the thing with fan fictions, that they take so long to make. So I've thought about this many times. Is that what if I just had the voices and the sounds, but no picture? If you guys would be down for that, and then later I could release, it with pictures, type one. Because if that's the case, I could release a fan fiction literally like 4 times a week, no problem, easy. But the thing is, I like to make it like a movie. But my process with that is, uh, if an idea comes to me, I just kind of roll with it. And I've always had this ability to just literally once I start typing, it just doesn't stop, and it just goes and goes and goes until the point where it's done. And then I'll go back and I'll maybe change a few things, or while I'll be recording it, I'll change a few things on the fly, and then I'll just keep going and pick up, jump a couple lines and then pick up where the story would continue. And then I would edit them myself, which now I have an editor. Shout out to my editor, Star Wars Elseworlds. He is amazing, and he really frees up my time for the gaming channel and all the other stuff that I'm trying to do right now. So whenever I can't get around to editing videos, I still edit a lot myself, but when I can't get to it, he edits a lot of those. So he edited that fan fiction with the pictures and everything, and it was great. And then the voices, I just go in there and I have modulators, and I change up my voice. It's literally the same thing I've been doing since I started the channel 4 years ago, almost now. So
it's cool.
yeah, they're my
Because like
favorite thing.
did you ever see any of the old Star Wars radio plays? Did you ever hear any of the old radio plays?
I have heard some of the radio plays. Yeah.
I thought the radio plays were really cool. It's like, maybe like, would it be fun to do a radio play of the Duel of the Fates? Would it be fun to do a radio play of, our own version of Obi-Wan?
We could do a radio play, and I could send it to my sound guy, and he could make it a radio play. He could make it like legit.
I
So
think we should.
you guys are typing one for that, or you guys would be down if I just upload like a black screen or just like the logo or whatever, and it's just my voice, but you're going through the story. I feel like it's so lazy, but I mean, it'd save so much time. I don't know. It's up to you. If you guys are down for that, type one. I could do that. But yeah, Mark, I'd be down for that, dude.
Yeah, like maybe we go cross collabo here, and we do a radio play of Duel of the Fates. Like I think that would be a lot of fun, man. I think that that would be a lot of fun. We have so many great actors: Josh Robert Thompson, Jamie Costa. You
Yeah.
do good voices. Like we could do some fun stuff. And I don't know. It's just like I just don't want Star Wars to go the direction it's going without a little resistance from the fans. Like it needs a little resistance.
I think it's going in a fine direction. I think everything
I
after the sequels, I think it's doing well. No?
I agree. I agree. like Clone
Mando, Clone
Mando,
Wars.
Mando, Clone Wars. That's all we have. That's all we
Yeah,
have right now.
yeah, yeah.
So those two are looking.
Look, I think if Dave Filoni has full control, I think we're fine. That's it. If Dave Filoni is our guy leading everything, I think we are
We're
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the support of the support of Disney and the high ups and like
They don't need Disney. They never needed Disney. The only reason George sold Star Wars, if we're being real, and I'm gonna be real, is because the fans are assholes. The fans were so toxic towards him for the prequels, he didn't want anything to do with it anymore. And he said this so many times that he sold it because he couldn't do what he wanted to do anymore. He had to do it a certain way, the way certain fans wanted it, and that wasn't fun for him anymore. So he got rid of it. It is our fault that he sold this franchise.
not my fault, man. I loved it.
Our fault as fans. I mean, as a collective,
Our failure. It was our not our fault. Our failure
it is our failure. Yeah. So
because we couldn't enlighten the people that
and
didn't.
you can almost see the pain in his eyes. I remember I went to the 20th anniversary for the Phantom Menace at Star Wars Celebration. There was a panel there that not everyone went to, but a lot of people went to, and he had a special message just for that panel. It was like on his phone, it was on the fly, and it was super quick. And they put it on the screen, and I teared up. It was very heartfelt. He's like, all of you who are here, it means that you were part of the Phantom Menace. You love the Phantom Menace, and I love you all. Blah blah blah. And it was like the prequels were his children, right? And he made that, and he got so much damn hate for them that people just pushed him away from it, and he sold it. And as he said to the Charlie Rose guy, or whatever his name is, sorry, but he said he sold it to the white slavers. And he later went, to apologize for what he said about that. But look, he said what he said, and he meant it.
Stuff. Look, it's heavy stuff.
So,
It's heavy stuff. So on that note, we
on that note,
let's go play some Call of Duty,
let's go
baby.
play some COD. No, we gotta finish that heist in
Yo,
GTA.
yo,
Stream starting in about 45 minutes in the
what you
gaming
doing?
channel.
All right, cool. So
You
look,
want to join in?
for GTA 5.
Yeah. Dude, we spent
Probably,
5 hours prepping for this heist, dude.
yeah, probably not, but I do want to shout out all the folks from the channel that have come over to watch me play Galaxies. Thank you so much, and keep bugging Theory. One day he will join me in the game, and we'll set him up with his lightsaber and stuff like that, and we'll go run around, and maybe we can do some PvP. But if you wanna check that out, Collider Games, go over there. We're doing Galaxies, and I'm thinking about actually playing some of the old Star Wars games too, like the old school, like X-Wing, Rogue Squadron.
You should do some giveaways whenever we do Rule of Two. Do some giveaways on your gaming channel. Just say, hey guys, come subscribe. Just like I did with my Fast Facts channel, I gave away $200 to just
Oh
one
yeah,
one random person. Yeah, she's like, yo, go over there. Maybe at the next Rule of Two, or even this one if you want. There's still 1,800 people here, but in the beginning of the next one, you can always be like, yo, go to Collider Games or whatever, and I'll give away, I don't know, $50 or Amazon gift card or whatever.
yeah. First of all, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And like, look, I want Collider Games to have that vibe that we have whenever we game out, where it's just fun, chill, and like we do a lot of exploring of our old favorite games. Like right now you're playing GTA 5. That's a 7-year-old game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's a little throwback.
It is, yeah. Put a PvP of me doing the voices for my fanfics.
Oh,
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I've thought of that. We have a lot of super chats I didn't get to. I feel like a complete jerk.
oh, do you? Hold on. People are asking
Tons,
what my
yeah.
channel is. It's Collider Games. I'll just write it out there.
No, I can post it right here in the. Just go into YouTube, type in Collider Games. Can't go wrong.
God, I wanted to say something.
My gaming channel is Theories Arcade Games. It's linked in my sidebar.
Anyway, good stuff, man. I look forward to the next week. But somebody asked, how do you play Star Wars Galaxies? You go to swglegends.com and you just figure it out from there.
What are we gonna do about
It's
these
free.
super
It's
chats,
easy.
man? I gotta read these.
Go for it. Go for it.
There's so many. We're gonna be here for another like 20 minutes.
How many are they?
A lot.
All right. Well, we got to. We can't. Like the
Ignore their
fans
money.
are.
Yeah.
We got to do the right thing, man. That's
Yeah.
what keeps us alive.
It is. Yeah. Okay. So here we go.
I feel like you already read that one.
Yeah. That's why I'm like going.
Yeah, stop spamming,
Okay.
man. Moderator, step up your game today, bro. We got a lot of spammers.
Why didn't Dooku have Sith eyes? He killed Jedi, bled a
That's a
crystal, and
question,
used the
dude.
Sith lightning. Is there a difference between a fallen Jedi and a legit Sith? But Vader had Sith eyes. What do you think? There is a big difference. So Dooku didn't really care. He wasn't full of that amount of hatred. He just didn't agree with the politics of the Jedi. So he was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go to the other side. And his idea of becoming a Sith wasn't really the same idea as Vader or like I couldn't see Dooku killing children. I couldn't see him really embodying the Sith doctrine the way Maul does or Palpatine does. Vader we know turned to the dark side for his obvious reasons, but Dooku turned to the dark side because the light side was lame because he wasn't involved with the politics that the Jedi were constantly regurgitating from the Senate and the Republic. And so that's why when Palpatine coaxed him into the dark side, he was like, okay, yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I did. I think first of all, I think that's a great explanation. It's a great explanation.
Marc gets quiet when you pull up other tabs. What does that mean?
When you mess around with your computer, it mutes my audio.
Oh, got it. Whenever you show us pictures, we can't hear Marc because this is going back. Can you guys make it so fans can talk with us too? Fans can talk with you too? Yeah, so we got to figure that out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna try to figure that out for the
week.
next episode.
Yeah,
yeah.
You guys can call in.
We got you. We got you.
Maybe you have some like collider number they can call.
Yeah. 857-5609. Whatever it is.
What are y'all's top 5 favorite characters?
All right, I'll go first real quick.
Okay.
Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, me too.
Luke Skywalker.
Me too.
Darth Sidious.
Me too.
ObiWan Kenobi.
Okay.
And Han Solo.
Okay. Mine after that is Qui-Gon and probably Maul.
Yeah, Maul's awesome.
Do you know where you get your Star Wars novels online? Amazon.
Amazon, baby.
Yeah. There's a Revenge of the Sith watch party with Cameron Monaghan and Ashley Eckstein on IGN tomorrow.
Okay, well, I wish they would have come to us.
Yeah. Why'd they go on IGN?
Yeah.
You ever read the last of the... Why did they do that?
Anyway.
The true Star Wars fandom's here, baby. Like,
thanks for the heads up. Whoever wrote that, thanks for the heads up. We appreciate it.
Cassidy Sinclair. Oh, he's always really active on my gaming channel.
Who, Cassidy?
Cassidy, are you... I always get confused. Is Cassidy a guy's name or a girl's name? It can be both, right?
It can go both ways.
There are a lot of girls on my gaming channel.
It's gender neutral. It's gender neutral.
A lot of girls on my gaming channel. It's very surprising.
Yeah, there's a lot of gamer girls. Know, Star Wars, even on Galaxies.
Yeah. It's cool.
There's a lot of gamer girls.
Yeah.
On COD, every time we're playing COD and we get shot, it's like, hey,
yeah, we kill them. Yeah, they're like ah!
or they kill us.
They're like, I hate you. But it's usually like some like 8-year-old girl or whatever. KOTOR remaster is what we truly need. That's true. Love your channel, dude. Keep up the great work, bud. Thank you. Arigato. Steve says, I love Star Wars Galaxies. Played on Corey, Master BH, and Jedi after mastering every prof in the game. Still play sometimes. If Marc recreates, I'm in. People love it because you choose your adventure.
Yeah, so right now on my games channel, Collider Games on YouTube, everybody who joins in the chat can play with us. So we have a bunch of folks that have joined up. We got, we're trying to build a guild called the Rule of Two Army, We're actually taking over somebody else's guild. We're pretending to be nice, and then we will execute Order 66 on their guild and take over.
Rise up,
Um,
gamer girls. Yeah, type one if you're a gamer girl.
yeah, rise up, gamer girls.
Thanks for
Rise.
saying that, Lindsay. Lol, simping. Man, just think it. Don't turn me to the dark side. Not today, buddy. Hey,
Yeah.
Theory and Mark. Hope y'all are doing well. Shout out to the mods in the community. Love this podcast. May the force be with. Thanks, Parth. May the force be
Thanks,
with you,
buddy.
man. Appreciate your $5. Do you think the last scene in the Clone Wars was after Vader felt Ahsoka in Rebels the first time? No.
Say it again. Say it again.
The scene at the end of Clone Wars. Do you think that's when Vader felt Ahsoka for the second time? Or sorry. Do you think it's after Vader felt Ahsoka in Rebels? Enjoy the
No.
content. Let the haters hate. They just want to be you. I don't know if they want to be me, but thanks, bro. Adrian says, "Keep up the good work, Theory. Sequels aren't as good as the prequels and the OT. There are many flaws in both, but they're all good. Hopefully, we can podcast together. Definitely, man. Thank you for your 20
Yeah,
bucks. I
brother.
appreciate that." Mattress says, "The last Jedi, the past Jedi were not Sith. Wait, the past Jedi were not with Rey. As with Kylo, the Jedi that Rey heard at the end were the Emperor, as every voice she had ever heard." And oh, could you imagine that? That's a good theory.
What?
That's a really good theory, Mattress. Mattress
Yeah,
sent
I
me a
like
good
that.
email about, yeah, that all those Jedi were just every voice that she has ever heard inside her head because of Palpatine. Wow, that's a good theory.
My boy.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I like that. I
That's
like
cool.
that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I like that. Theory, what would you like to see for Star Wars in 10 years? Also, will Vader 2 be longer than Vader 1? Yeah, and we'll probably get Vader 3 as well. But keep sending those super chats, baby. Keep buying the merch. Can't stress it enough. Keep going on my Patreon. Support the channel. Support Fast Facts, my other channel that no one knows about. It would have been really cool to see Darth Vader and Maul fight in the last season of Clone Wars, and I really love your content. Keep up. Yeah, apparently Vader was supposed to kill Maul in Rebels.
Yeah.
That was the original. Shaman McLammy, thank you. Bryce says, should Lucasfilm make R-rated Vader film? Uh, no. In terms of violence, yeah, that'd be cool. But it's not like we haven't seen that in Star Wars already. We've gotten beheadings, behandings, be-armings, be-leggings,
Yeah. And
being set
and
on fire.
I thought Clone Wars is R-rated to a degree in terms of the violence. I know it's made for kids, kind of, not really, but season 3, season 4, season 5 of Clone Wars, when Clone Wars is at its top of its game, it's an incredibly violent show. More people die in Clone Wars than in all the movies. And I really love how in that final episode, or I think it was the penultimate episode, where Darth Maul is just slicing those people up when he's walking down the hall,
Yeah,
and just cutting people up with like the debris of the walls and
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah, that was really cool.
That's the Clone Wars that we've always gotten, and I love that post Disney they didn't try to soften the edges of it because Rebels was softer than Clone
I
Wars.
gotta,
And go ahead.
I gotta tell you something about Disney and Lucasfilm from apparently from what I've been told by someone that works there, allegedly. Who knows? Who knows who these guys are? I can't fact check them really. Um, Apparently, Disney and Lucasfilm aren't as close as most people think. They just kind of do their own thing, and Disney, sort of sometimes will try to govern, from what I gathered from this guy's emails. But yeah,
I don't know. I have pretty strong connections in there on both sides. It's like Disney has Pixar, its animation division, the MCU, and Star Wars. And Star Wars is a big, 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 big deal to Bob Iger. I know he left. Now he's back. There is a lot of oversight between Disney and Lucasfilm, and I've actually heard that a lot of the big, big decisions have not been made by Kathleen Kennedy, but were actually made by Iger. So I don't know if I buy that. That it's like a company that you own that you kind of let do its own thing. I think there's a lot of interaction between the two entities
Right.
at the highest levels.
What
At the
I
highest
what I
levels.
got from this email and from this guy is that they purged a lot of people that worked at Lucasfilm once Disney bought them, and they put in their own people, their own guys and girls, and their own talent. And then that's why now it's, they just kind of let them do their own thing a little bit, but it's still primarily governed by a lot of the people that Disney hired for Lucasfilm.
Mm, I see what you mean. So like
So,
Bob Iger's team that he put in place there.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this guy was saying that he survived. He called it the Disney Purge, and he survived it because he's still working there. But
Good for him, dude. It must be a
yeah.
great place to work.
That's my first job. That was the job. That was my dream job as a kid. I wanted to be a VFX animator for Star Wars. Yeah,
For ILM.
yeah, yeah, for Lucasfilm.
All right. Well, look, man, we're running on 85 minutes. This actually might be the longest Rule of Two in the history of Rule of Two. So
We still got so many more super chats, baby. We gotta keep
how
going.
many more you got?
We got a good bit.
All right, keep going.
It would have
Dude.
been really cool to see Darth Vader. Yeah, we got that one. All right, Shaman, thank you. Should Lucasfilm make R-rated? We got that. Sorry to bother you about this, bro. This dude, Mike Zero, has been talking about George, Dave, and Kev are going to fix the sequels. What's your thoughts? I feel he's just trying to get subs, but I hope it's true. Look, Mike Zero was always really nice to me, for the most part, but we don't talk. Once I made my fan film, the guy went cold. He just went completely silent. So I haven't talked to him. I don't know what's going on. I haven't watched his videos about it. I really don't know anything. But if George and Dave and Kevin Feige, I assume you're saying, are going to fix the sequels or are going to come back, man, that'd be cool. That'd be a dream team. It'd be great. Kevin Feige, again, I don't know what his background is with Star Wars. I just know he's great at Marvel. So, as long as these guys are really good with Star Wars, great. And we know George and Dave are. So, more Rule of Two, my guys. Keep it going. Thanks, Jedi Knight. Montijo. So Liddy, thank you. Nathan says, I need a second Public Republic Commando. I need to see Delta Squad in Order 66 and live through them having to deal with killing their Jedi and struggling.
It's a great game. That's another game that maybe we should play. Republic Commando. It's a great game.
I'd be down.
It's a great game.
I love Star Trek. Hashtag ST. Let's go, chat.
Yeah, I love Star Trek too, man.
Yeah.
I love Star Trek.
Yeah. Hello from Switzerland. A suggestion: it would be cool to invite a fan with lower knowledge once a month or every second time. Rule of two. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out how to do calls. We're gonna figure out how to do calls.
Why Maul wasn't able to use Force Lightning? He. I actually don't know the actual answer to that, but I do know that he liked to kill his enemies up close and
He
personal.
ran out of skill. Yeah, and he ran out of skill points. He used all his skill points on his other stuff.
Yeah, but he was a savage, so he liked to really kill his enemies with his blade, and he wasn't really taught. He wasn't really akin to using lightning or the Force as much, except
Yeah.
Selma Clone Wars. KT Tekulv 7 says, "Have you had time to watch episode 1 since Dave's speech?" No, I haven't. No, I want to do an episode 1 watch through with all you guys, a little watch party. Maul is cool. Actually, let me know what time works best for you guys right now in the comments. Maul is cool. Thank you, Trey. Appreciate that $10, man. Steven says, love Theory. Your content is absolutely amazing, and I drive every day to watch them. We need to have a movie watch party soon. Yeah, that's funny. I just said that. Weird. George is not working with Lucasfilm full time, and if they were, George isn't someone who focuses on the past. He wouldn't waste his time on that. Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah, like I said, I don't know where he gets the sources from in his info, but best of luck to him. Hey guys, I really enjoy watching y'all every week. Thanks, X Trooper, and that's it for the soups. Still 1,800 of you here. Thank you guys. We appreciate you. We love you. It's the longest Rule of Two we've done, I think. And
it breaks the record, man.
90
records
minutes.
are meant to be broken.
Yeah, baby.
Records are meant to be broken, baby.
Go check out Collider Games. Marc streams there every day. He's doing Star Wars Galaxies. Join his community there and join my community on the gaming channel, where eventually me and Marc are going to link up and not just play COD, but play some Galaxies as well. So
yeah, dude, and I'd love to play some of the old Star Wars games like Empire at War.
Yeah.
Empire at War is a lot of fun. There's a prequel mod that's a lot of fun for Empire at War.
I didn't know that.
I'd love to play. I think maybe playing through Jedi Knight could be a lot of fun. The Kyle Katarn storyline, and then maybe even playing some of the old school games like Um, what was that really cool Super Nintendo
N64. Yeah, Shadows of the Empire.
no, yeah, that's on 64, but on the Super Nintendo, Super Star Wars. I don't know if you remember that. That was a lot of fun too, man.
Remember that one?
Yeah. So anyway, there's so much stuff in Star Wars that we can dig
Yeah,
into,
man.
like there's a lot of stuff out
Yeah,
there.
it'll be fun.
Cool.
All right, boys and girls, thanks for joining. See you in the next rule of two. Until then, remember, rise, my friends.
My boy.